and welcome to the Homemade Podcast Sports. This is your host, J Pops. And welcome back to the Homemade Podcast of Sports with your host, J Pops. Guys, today's date is May 10th, 2021. It is a beautiful day out here in the great city of Houston, Texas, people. I just want to thank all of you guys out there that has been supporting this podcast for so long, man. I'm hearing from a lot of people that you guys are discussing this podcast with others down there in College Station, man. I thank you guys for that, man. That is a huge support system. I've heard just the other day from Jalen Jones' dad that I believe Keon Green's dad, shout out to you by the way as well, that he had that he was speaking to the media and he was saying that, hey, yeah, man, it's a guy from Houston, man, that does a podcast down there. And he just said some wonderful things, man. So I thank you guys for that, man. That is a blessing to me. That is a real big blessing. Hopefully this show goes way out there and creates a big brand, man. Hopefully the Texas radio show could get me on there for an interview. Texas, if you're listening, man, shout out to you guys. And I know those guys listen, but hopefully, man, one day I can get that shout out on that Texas radio, man, from Billy Lucci himself, from Gabe Bach before he leaves. Gabe, we're going to miss you, dude. But from Gabe Bach before he leaves, and from no one other than Olin Buchanan, man. I thank him for letting me meet up with him, all right? I just want to put that on out there, man. I just had to. I had to put that on out there. It's a beautiful feeling, man. But it's a beautiful off-season out here, people. It is a beautiful off-season. Of course, they've came out with the post-spring rankings, top 25. And if you guys did not see, they had Texas A&M at number 8. They had Iowa State at number 6, North Carolina at number 7. If you guys just want to know, Alabama at number 1. I don't know what they were looking at in that spring game, but I didn't see too much. They had LSU at 13. LSU fans, if you listen, I told y'all what was what from my end. All right. But anywho, guys, excuse me. On this latest edition of the Homemade Podcast of Sports, I will be getting into just the offensive side of production. What is our skill rankings so far as each position group on the offensive side? We're just going to talk about the offensive side for this one. I received this request from one of the podcast listeners and one of the biggest fans, man. This name is Fred Petrie, I think. I think that's his YouTube name, Fred Petrie. If you're listening, Mr. Fred, thank you for requesting this, man. So he was asking me, man, what do you think about the skill groups? Can you please rank them? Told him I was going to do it. Here it is. So without further ado, this is not a long episode, but we will cram everything into this jam-packed 10-minute episode, okay? I'm not going to keep you guys for long. So for each position group, what is my ranking on them? And we're just going to go through not the whole entire SEC. We're just going to do the SEC West rankings, okay? So for the offensive line, everybody wants to know about the offensive line. I'm hearing from a lot of people that A&M will be taking a huge step back because of the simple fact that Kellen Mond is gone. The entire, well, not the entire, but at least 4 of those guys from the offensive line has left. There's only Keon Green left. You know, so a lot of guys thinking that Texas A&M is going to take a huge step back and possibly have a 9-3 season. Once again, I do not believe in that. I'm not sure what the hell anybody is looking at. A lot of people hate to discuss the simple fact that Alabama's entire offensive production literally has gone to the NFL. A lot of people hate to discuss that because they're Alabama, you know, and I get it, you know, they're the blue blood, man. They have 18 national titles. That's Nick Saban. He has 6 of the last titles with Alabama. I understand that, people, but Alabama and Texas A&M is in the same boat. Lost both quarterbacks, lost the entire offensive line, lost wide receivers so far as Alabama. A&M did not lose any receivers, people. Now, they may have a lot of drops, but they didn't lose any people like that. Also, A&M hasn't lost their running backs. They have all of them coming back. So I'm not understanding the 9-3 talk. I am not, man. I'm not. I understand, Alabama has a 5-star quarterback. Whoop-de-doo. A&M would have had a 5-star quarterback if the 1-star would not have been taken away because of how the way Haynes King senior season played out. That's all I'm saying, man. You guys got to do the facts, man. You have to do the research. But anywho, so let's talk about the offensive line, man. That offensive line, what is their general ranking in the SEC West as it stands? I'm going to be totally honest with you. As of right now, Texas A&M offensive line rankings production, to me in my mind, is at number 6. And we have 7 teams in the SEC West. The offensive line is at number 6 for right now, only because we have not seen nobody but one person. They have to prove themselves going out there to the season. The people I have above them is the team in Tuscaloosa. All right, they're at number 5. They're at number 5. I'm gonna say that once again. They're at number 5. I'm not putting them at number 1. I don't know what everybody's looking at. Not putting those guys at number 1. All right, so they're at number 5. Okay, A&M and team in Tuscaloosa primarily have the same exact thing coming back, which is literally not too many people. All right, so I put them at number 5. LSU though, LSU, and I'm just naming, throwing out people here. LSU, I have them at number 2 as the offensive line is concerned. I have them kind of like at number 2 because they generally have most of the offensive linemen coming back. And I have Arkansas at number 1. A lot of people like to bag on Arkansas, but their offensive line would be way better than what it would. Mississippi State, I have them at number 7 because I just don't understand what's going on in Mississippi State. All right, but anywho, guys, let's keep on moving along. Offensive line at number 6 for me. No, that's not saying that our team is bad. That's not saying the offensive line is bad. It's just they're very inexperienced. All right, most of them are very inexperienced. Wide receivers. A lot of people are going to bash me for this one. Wide receivers, I have Texas A&M at number 2. Only reason why I say that, and despite the drops, the only reason why I say that is because they have so much experience coming back at that wide receiver group. Now, do they have to show us what they have, and do they have to step up if that wide receiver group? Yes, but I have Texas A&M wide receiver group at number 2. Okay, and I'm gonna say that once again. I have them at number 2. The guys that I have above them, so far as the wide receiver group, and everybody likes to talk about talent. Okay, the talent is there at that wide receiver position. And the guys who I have above them is LSU. Only reason why I say LSU is because they have old Keishawn Butte coming back. That's the only reason why LSU will be at number 1 for me, so far as wide receiver group. Number 3, I have Alabama. They're so inexperienced right there. They are very inexperienced, man. But a lot of people do not like to say that because they're Alabama. Once again, I understand that, but they're very inexperienced. All right, so I have these teams lined up 1, 2, 3. All right, it's just I feel like LSU's wide receiver group is a little bit better. All right, only because of the amount of guys that have coming back, and some of those guys have had no experience in because of Keishawn Butte. That I believe I'm pronouncing his name right. That's it. But Texas A&M, I have them at number 2, man, because of the experience. Regardless to the drop balls, man. I don't care about the damn drop balls. They are well experienced at their position. All right? And Anaya Smith makes up a whole lot of that ground. All right? So let's keep on moving along. Tight ends, tight end group, I have A&M at number 1. And there's nobody that can tell me different about that. It is nobody that can disagree about that. Seriously, man. Texas A&M is number 1 at the tight end group, regardless if Baylor Cupp is going to be out there for his very first time. Baylor Cup and Watermeyer together is an A+ for me. It is a A+. Nobody can argue me down about that. It is an A+. I have Texas A&M at number 1 so far as tight end groups, and I'm going to say that once again. I have them at number 1. The team that I have behind them is the team in Tuscaloosa. Once again, they are pretty damn good at tight ends. All right, but nobody's going to use their tight end more than A&M. All right, I'm going to say that once again. Nobody's going to use their tight ends more than A&M. I have A&M at number 1, tight ends. That's just strictly what I'm sticking with. The team behind them, though, so far as tight ends are concerned, is maybe I'm trying to think of a team that actually just used their tight ends a lot. It's maybe Arkansas, man, because unless you didn't use their tight ends heavily, Mississippi State doesn't, Ole Miss doesn't really does. So I have Arkansas right behind us. I mean, right behind them in that third group range. But anywho, guys, let's keep on moving along here. Running backs, I have A&M at number 1. Once again, I have them at number 1. A&M they're about to go into like a 3-year experience, man. 3-year experience. Devin A-Chain is about to be his 2nd year, and we all seen what he can do. They're really, really good, man. They're really, really good. They have a stable of running backs over there. A stable. So I have A&M at number 1. And not to mention that, man, number 1 in the SEC overall. Not just in the SEC West, but in the SEC overall. We literally have like a 3 to 4 headed monster when it comes to running backs. So be looking for that ground game to be used. Not as much as it was used last year, but be looking for it to balance out that offense. See, a lot of people didn't think that offense is going to do anything, man. That is really tripping me out. But that running back room is number 1 in the SEC West. It is number 1 in the SEC West. Understand this, guys. I'm not being biased. Okay, yes, I'm a huge A&M fan, huge A&M analysis. I'm not being biased, but that running back room is a number 1. That is an A+ with all those guys. Let's continue to move along here, and we only have like one more group, and that's fullback. A&M uses their fullbacks. Fullbacks, they're number 1 as well. They uses their fullback. Say that once again. They use their fullback. So offensively, where does A&M rank? Offensively, I will give A&M that 3rd spot. I will give them that 3rd spot. Once again, I will give them that 3rd spot. Offensively, I will give them that 3rd spot. Who's number 1? You guys are gonna, and a lot of you guys might agree with this. Who's number 1 is Ole Miss. Ole Miss is number 1 when it comes to that offensive production. They're number 1. They are. They are pretty much like a proven commodity. And I will say that. They have Matt Corral over there, and he's going to sling him. We all know that. But I have them at number 1. Looking at that offense again, I have Arkansas maybe at like number 2. A lot of people are going to bash me about that one. But yeah, man, Arkansas look pretty good. I have them at like number 2. A&M is at number 3. Bama is at number 4. And LSU is at number 5. Only because LSU, they really have to get themselves together, man. They really have to gel. And I'm hearing that, I believe it was, I heard some quarterback might be on the transfer. So just be looking out for that. I don't know if it was Miles Brennan or what, but it was somebody. It was either Miles Brennan or the other guy after Miles Brennan. I know TJ Finley's already in there. But it was somebody else coming after that, man. So be looking for that. But that's pretty much it, guys. Please leave your comments down below. Let me know if you guys agree and if you guys disagree, okay? But that is it. Like I say, this is a real quick episode. I want to go ahead and lay this on out there, all right? But I love all of you guys. And please hit that subscribe button in the right-hand corner for me, please. And also tap that reminder button so you guys can get all of these breaking videos, all right? So once again, guys, it's your host, J Pops, Homemade Podcast Sports. #GigaMegas. And thank you guys for tuning in to the #Homemade Podcast Sports. Please, guys, subscribe to the YouTube page and also follow me on Twitter @JPops.
on Instagram at JPops, and also on Facebook at #HomeMadePodcastSports. Thank you guys once again. #GigaMaggis.